Exchange Server 2019 roles. Right. So basically with Exchange Server 2019, we have two roles only. One is mailbox role and one is edge transport role. So now the mailbox role includes your transport service role, mailbox database role, and client access service role. Right. So it is included with your exchange. Now, if we deep dive in, yes. So talking about architecture, right? So on the architecture, now you can see unified messaging as we saw on that day has been removed from Exchange 2019. Now Exchange 2019 includes all your server components from Exchange 2013 mailbox and client access server role. So with client access server role, you can your clients can access your services like authentication, redirection, proxy services, and client services like HTTP, POP3, IMAP, and SFTP. Whereas mailbox service role includes the traditional server components. So it includes the Exchange 2013 mailbox server role except the unified messaging, the backend client access protocol, transport service role, and it doesn't include the unified messaging, the backend access client access protocol. So unified messaging is not included. It has been deprecated, but it includes transport service and mailbox databases. So it handles all activity for the active mailbox server role. Right. So I hope this is clear with the mailbox roles. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Right, Krishna?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now coming back, so my machine would be up. Let's minimize this. My machine is still not up. We'll enable the another machines. So my server is also up and my client machine, right? So first of all, I'll sign out this and I'll relaunch the console. So dmember/ECP. We log into our Exchange control panel. Now, first thing we are going to see how to block emails using the keywords. If you want to block any emails using any keywords, we'll see that how we can do that. Okay, might be my some service is not running. Let me restart my Exchange server. Okay, let's log into a machine. Let's log into the Exchange admin. Okay, my services are still starting. We'll wait for a moment. Okay, my Exchange services are almost started. There's still two services are still starting in the starting phase. We'll wait for a moment. Okay, services have been started. Let's log into our Exchange admin center. Okay, we are into the Exchange admin center now. First lab, we are going to see how to block email messages if a specific keyword is included in the subject or body of the message. So we'll go to mail flow, we'll go to rules, we'll click on the new create new rule button. We'll specify the rule name. Now let's say we'll say block messages using a keyword, and the keyword we want to specify, let's say, for example, ban, or let's say we'll download, right? We'll say use the word download. Now apply this rule if the sender is located or the recipient is located, right? Instead, the subject or body includes, right? The subject or body includes, and we'll say what you want to include in the subject or body. So first I'll give the name word as download, and then as downloads with S. Again, I'll say capital D download and capital D download. Four keywords I have specified. Four keywords I have specified. We'll click OK. Now, what action you want to do, right? Do the following. What action you want to do, right? So we'll say do the following. We want to block the message. We want to block the message. Hold on. Say the subject or body includes. Yeah. So the subject or body includes any of these words. We have selected that option. And what action you want to do? Do the following. So we'll say block the message, reject the message, and include an explanation. So we'll define an explanation. These mess this type of message is not permitted in the organization. We are giving this explanation. We are giving this explanation. We'll click OK. Now you can give an exception also. Let's say if you have some senior users, you can give an exception, right? So let's say you have a group, you can give an exception, or you can say except if the recipient is, the sender is, or any user you want to exclude, right? You can exclude a recipient also, right? So at present, we'll not define that. Now, audit this rule, we'll give the severity medium. Choose a mode for this rule, we'll enforce this rule, and we'll click apply. We'll save it. Right, so this rule is applied in your organization that if a user is sending a mail and the mail includes the word download, whether in the subject or the body, the message should be blocked. The message should be blocked. Now let's log in with a user. We'll log in with a user, let's say Krishna. So team member slash over. We'll log in with the user Krishna at the rate domain name and the credentials. We'll jot a mail, like we'll give the subject to email address. So let's say he's sending an email to Sonali and Steve. Okay, so now we'll include a subject here. We'll include a subject here. The subject is movie download. Hello Sonali, please find the below link for the movie. Regards, Krishna. And he's sending a mail. We'll wait for a moment. The mail has just gone. You can see now from drafts or two, now it is one. I can see the mail was bounced back, right? Delivery has failed to these recipients, so Steve Johnson and Sonali, right? The message wasn't delivered because the email admin for your organization created an email rule restriction. Please contact your admin for this, right? So the messages, this type of message is not permitted in the organization. Right here, message is given. What is the message? That this type of message is not permitted in your organization. So this is how we can create a rule which can block email messages or emails with a specific keyword. Clear with this?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Now
sir.
let's move ahead. We'll see how to configure in place hold. We'll see how to configure in place hold. If you want to configure in place hold, so we have a group called discovery management. We have a group called discovery management. So in order to create a configure in place hold, you need to be a member of discovery management group. By default, no user is member of discovery management group. So first we will go and fetch the group information, whether the any user is member of that group or not. Then we'll add the group membership, then we'll configure in place hold for the rest one of the users. Now let's go to the exchange management cell. Okay, so first I'll clear the screen. Right. Now first we'll fetch the group information. So the command is get role group member and the group names. Group name, so identity, discovery, management, representative. So it is not giving any results. It is not giving any results. So now we are going to add a membership. So we'll say add role group member. We'll specify the identity, discovery management. So we want to add to the discovery management and who should be the member. So we want to add member as administrator at the rate sp.com and press enter. So now I didn't receive any errors. So my command is successful. We will rerun this command, previous command. Now we can see that administrator, that is user mailbox recipient type, is added to the group. Recipient type user mailbox is added to the group. Now let's go and configure in place hold discovery, right? So in place hold discovery will configure. So we'll log out from the administrator because he's now a member of another group. So we'll relaunch it. I'll relaunch the console. So team member, exchange and control panel, we'll sign in. Now we'll go to compliance management. Here we have in place e-discovery and hold. So now what is we are putting on hold, but before that hold e-discovery should be run. So in order to run the e-discovery, you are creating a rule, right? And in order to create a rule and run the e-discovery, you should be member of that group. So we added administrator to that group. Now we'll be creating a rule e-discovery, which will be putting emails on the hold of the user or content of the users on the hold. Right. So let's go and configure. We'll click create on the plus sign. We'll give the name to the rule. So let's say we'll give the name as e-discovery for e-discovery and for user Sonali. User Sonali. Right. So this hold, this is a temporary hold on emails of the user Sonali Win. As a description, we'll move next. Now, the important thing you need for this an enterprise client access license. If you have standard edition of Exchange, this feature is not going to work. So we have basically two editions of Exchange, standard edition and enterprise edition. You need an enterprise client access license. If you don't have enterprise edition license, this feature is not going to work. We'll move next. Now we can search all mailboxes, which is not the recommended option. Recommended is specify mailboxes to search. So we'll specify which mailbox you want to search. So you want to search for user Sonali. So select user Sonali. Okay. Now we can include or exclude public folders, right? But we will not exclude public folders. We will not include public folders. We'll move next. Now it is saying include all content or you want to include a specific content. So you can filter criteria based on any keywords, also, or you can specify start date and end date also. From this date to end this date, you want to put hold, right? Now, why we put content on hold? For compliance purposes, for auditing purposes. So we'll uncheck this start and end date and we'll say include all content. Still, you can specify from which users the user has received the mail, or you can specify filter based on criteria. You can exclude if keywords are blank, so it would include every mails, but you can specify from and to users also, from whom he has received the mails or to whom he has sent the mails. Right, so we'll say include all content. We are not filtering anything. We'll move next. So place content matching the query, search query in selected sources on hold. Hold immediately or specify number of days to hold items relatively to the receive date. So if I say I want to keep it hold for 7 days, so till 7 days the content will be hold. If you define hold immediately, the above option, so it will be permanent hold. You need to manually come and disable the e-discovery hold. So here what I'll do, I'll say keep it hold for 1 days, hold for 1 day, and we'll click finish. Right. So we have completed the operation. We'll click close. So operation is completed. Now, if we see here, it is showing estimate in progress. Its status is estimate in progress and preview search results. So once your scanning is completed, search is completed, e-discovery search is completed, then you can see the status is completed and you can preview the items. It will show the size and the items which are detected. So we'll try to refresh once. You can see estimate succeeded and we have 9 items and the size is 52 KB. We'll click preview search results. You can see the top 500 mailboxes and public folders with the most hits are displayed here. So all items and Sonali Bendre's items, right? So you can see now all items are available here, what she has sent, right? So you can see we can see these items are on hold of the user Sonali for a day, for 1 day, for 1 day. Clear with e-discovery and in place hold?
So what does this feature do? User can't send the mails when she is on hold.
No, user will be able to send the mails.
Hmm.
User, see, we have two features. First of all, in place hold versus litigation hold. We have two features of hold, right? In place hold provides granular hold capability based on query parameters and the ability to place multiple holds. Litigation holds only allows you to place all items on hold. That is the difference basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we talk about both the features separately, right? So you can also specify duration period to hold the items. So now user would not be able to take any actions on these items. User will not be able to take any actions on these items. It will be on hold. User cannot delete or do something. User can't delete the mails. User can't remove the emails for specific period. That is the
Mm-hmm.
purpose of hold. Got it?
So the one which we have created, uh, can you go back to that page, sir, that admin center, exchange
Yeah,
admin
just a
center?
second. Just a second. Yes.
So for what we have kept on hold for Sonali for her mailbox,
We have
particularly
kept
anything.
everything. We have kept everything. So here when I was defining the criteria, I have selected whole content. See, search query, I have included all content. You can specify start date also and end date also. You can
Okay.
specify from messages also. Let's say we want to see messages from the administrator only.
Okay.
And you can say
All content is on the hold in the sense like she can't view the previous mails or what? Like,
she can view everything, but she can't
okay.
delete anything.
Okay. If the mailbox is on hold, user can't delete anything on
Yeah,
her
user
mailbox.
can't delete anything. She will receive the mails and she will be able to send the emails, but can't delete the mails or can't modify the mails, existing mails.
Okay, okay, sir. Understood.
Okay, so we'll cancel it and right. So this is in place hold. Now
Sir,
we'll go to
can't
the
modify means
sorry,
uh, the user cannot modify the mails means
modify means they can't move from one folder to another folder. Example, modify means
okay.
okay. So they are on hold. They will be as it in state. So you are locking the mails. You are locking the mails basically. Got it?
Sir, on which users this in place hold and litigation hold apply on organization
So let's
basically?
say if organization has so here at present we have applied to user Sonali. Now for compliance issues or for auditing issues that you want to check, let's say for example, there is a finance user and you have seen that, for example, we have, we'll take an example of Kingfisher Group. So in Kingfisher Group, there was a scam, right? There was a fraudulent transaction. So now you want to hold that items. So no user can delete anything related to that fraud. You have doubt that this can be the issue. Or for auditing purpose or compliance purpose, team needs to verify the compliance data in regards to compliance or in regards to auditing. So user should not delete the mails. So you will hold those mails for a certain period of time.
Okay.
Understood?
Sir, yeah, understood. Can you give two more examples on it, sir? Like in the organization for this.
So let's say there is a HR user, right? Now HR user was passing employees information to some another organization. So now organization has a doubt on the HR user. Now management has conveyed to the IT team to pull hold on. Now HR user came to the management stating that no, I was just passing on the PF information to the PF consultant, right? But now management has doubt. So management has asked the compliance and auditing team to audit the mails, right? So in order to audit and complete the compliance, the HR user should not delete any emails, correct? Or else she will not be an exception that they have done something wrong. But as they deleted the mails, mail will not be, we will not be able to view the mails. So we will be keeping the mailbox on hold to find out and to investigate what was right and what was wrong. Got it?
Oh, yeah, sir. Got it.
So this is the typical example. Generally, this happens if management has a doubt on some user or some group of users, they can put in place hold and litigation hold. So in place hold is a temporary hold. Litigation hold you do when you want to take any legal actions also. But litigation hold when you are going for illegal actions, that's why you put whole mailbox on hold. In place hold is a temporary hold. So you are putting a hold of the content for specific period only. That's the difference in between.
Okay. Sir, in Haynes, like we apply the 365 days for the litigation hold
Hmm.
when we are onboarding the user.
Hmm. Yeah, so you will be applying litigation hold so that user will not be able to delete emails for 365 days. Any new user.
Okay. So
So
if
let's
we
say,
apply the litig,
yeah,
okay.
so now let's say what happens generally when a new user joins, he sees more analytic, and by chance if they transmit their organization's information to any another person outside the organization, so that's a compliance issue, no? Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So let's say they transmitted IP address. They transmitted only IP address. A new user has joined. It is 2 months, and she transmitted an IP address of the organization to another person outside the organization. So it is a it is a compliance issue. Correct or not?
Yes, sir. Compliance
Now
issue.
now if now he she should not caught. So she will delete the email. But if mailbox is on hold, she will not be able to delete the email, and we can investigate and find who is the culprit.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Now let's see. We will go to Exchange Management Shell. We'll run the command get mailbox for the identity. Who is the user? Sonali, right? We have configured in place hold for user Sonali, and we'll find the format list for in place hold, and we'll press enter. So you can see in place hold is configured. This is security ID. Now we'll see how to configure litigation hold. We'll see how to configure litigation hold as you told you are configuring litigation hold for 365 days. The steps will be same, but we'll see. We'll configure using exchange management shell also and the exchange control panel also, or exchange admin center also. So we'll go to the users. So let's say we'll select user Steve. We'll go to properties of the user Steve. We'll go to mailbox features. And if you scroll down, here you can see we have litigation hold, which is disabled by default. We'll enable it. Now here you can define the duration. Let's say we'll specify 365 days. We can put a note at any note. Your mailbox is on hold for 1 year. Is on litigation hold for one year. And if you want to specify any URL where the user can navigate and understand why his or her mailbox is for hold, you can specify the URL also. You click save and save. Right, so you can see the hold setting may take up to 60 minutes to take effect. Right, the litigation hold might take up to 60 minutes to take effect. We'll say okay, no worries. Right, now we have configured. We'll refresh it and we'll see again for users T that in place hold is configured. User isn't under hold, right? It is user under hold, so it is in process. It may take up to 60 minutes. Now we'll go and check for the user Steve again, and we'll go and check for the user Tony also on the exchange management shell. So I'm going to run the command get mailbox for the identity user Steve Johnson. I will pipe the result with the format list and I'll say I need litigation old information. You can see it is configured. Owner is administrator. It was configured at 6:37 a.m. 2 minutes ago, right? You can see it is 6:39 a.m. It is enabled, it is true, and it is configured for 365 days. Now let's also review for the user Tony Stark. We'll run the previous command and instead of Steve Johnson, we'll give the user Tony Stark and enter. Now you can see for this user, it is not configured, it is false, and the duration is unlimited. It is false and duration is unlimited. Now we'll configure for Tony Stark using the exchange management shell. We'll configure for the user Tony Stark using the exchange management shell. So let's configure set mailbox with for the identity Tony Stark. And we want to configure litigation hold duration should be 365 days. And litigation, we need to enable litigation hold enabled. We'll give the value as true. Value as true. We'll press enter. Right, the hold settings may take up to 60 minutes to take effect. We'll say okay, we know that it will take. Now, but let's go and fetch again the status. You can see now it is configured. So previously for Tony Stark, we got the result false. Now it is true. Duration was unlimited, but because it was false, so duration is irrelevant. Now it is true, and the duration is 365, and the owner litigation owner hold owner is administrator. If any another user has administrative rights, right? We have added them to the e-discovery group, or then owner will be that user. That user will be able to log in with their credentials. And if let's say Krishna as the administrator, Krishna has logged in with his credentials and Krishna is configuring, then Krishna will be the administrator, as he is also the exchange administrator. He is also the exchange administrator. Clear?
Sir, litigation hold in the sense like user can't delete the emails for 365 days.
Yeah.
And in place hold is also like user can't delete the emails, can't move, can't
Both
select the
are
folder.
same. Both are
Okay.
same almost. Just the difference is that in place hold you apply to a specific, you are doing filtering. That if you want to apply for a specific duration, let's say you want to put a hold for the mails from January to February only,
Hmm.
right? Or you,
Hmm.
you want to put hold of the emails which were received from only Rajesh, or you want to put emails on hold which were sent to only Krishna, right? So that if you
Hmm.
want to define a criteria and put it on hold, then you configure in place hold. But if you want to hold the whole user's mailbox, everything, then you configure litigation hold.
Okay, user can't delete from any folder also, and
Yeah, correct.
only from inbox. Okay.
Right. In place hold, we are giving us certain criteria, and litigation hold doesn't have any criteria. It will apply to root folder of the mailbox. So under root folder, anything, any content will be on hold till these 365 days. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll
Sir,
go.
I have
Yeah. Yes, Krishna.
one thing to confirm. Like for a client, like we generally apply the litigation hold for 365 days on onboarding the user, not a
Mm,
particular user, on every user. We
mm,
apply the litigation hold for 365 days and also apply the retention policy for every
mm,
user for a client. That means
mm.
every user he cannot delete the mail items from his
Yeah,
mailbox. Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. We'll now see how to configure send and receive connectors. Now, what is the use of send and receive connectors? Send connectors are used to send emails outside of your organization, whereas receive connectors are used to route your receive your emails from another organization. Let's say you have a partner organization. Let's say Google has a partner organization, Facebook. Now we want to receive emails in our organization from Facebook email server, right? We have internet, we have our private connectivity, and we want to receive emails from Facebook email server to our Google email server, right? So two exchange servers are that you want to receive from partner organization on your domain, right? So then we specify receive connectors. So let's see how to configure receive connector and send connector. So we'll go to Exchange Admin Center. We'll go to mail flow. Here we have receive connectors and send connectors. So first we'll configure send connector. We'll click on the plus icon. So now here it is asking a name. So I'll say route on internet. Right, I'm routing my emails on internet. So here I can go with custom if I want to send emails to another non-exchange servers. I can select partner if I want to route mails to trusted third-party servers. Another option I can route to another intranet, right, within the organization, another exchange server within us with separate domain environment, or I can route to internet. So I'll say I want to route to internet. Next, now it is asking network settings, how you want to route the emails. How you want to route the emails. So first option is route emails through smart host. So you can provide the IP addresses of your servers, or you can provide the FQDN name. You can provide the FQDN name. I'll cancel this. And second option is using MX records associated with recipient's domain using MX records. So which is the best option, right? So we'll go with MX records. We'll move next. Now here address spaces, right? A send connector routes mail to specified list of domains. These domains can be SMTP, address, space, or a custom type. So we'll add an address space. I'll say I want to route. So my type is SMTP. Now fully qualified domain name. So I can give FQDN name of a public server, or I can give a public IP address of that exchange server. So I'll give the public IP address. We are just taking a hypothetical example. We don't have any, right? So we are saying this is my public IP address, and we'll click save. Now cost here is very important. So cost is the priority. The lower the cost, the higher the priority. So we'll say save. We have defined you can add multiple address spaces. We'll move next. Now it is asking source server. So source server, from which server you want to send. If you have multiple Exchange servers, you can define your Exchange server. So we'll click on the plus icon. We'll select our server. We have only one server. We'll click add. We'll click OK and we'll click finish. So we are routing on internet, right? Connector status is enabled, logging is off, and maximum send message size is 35 MB. So we have successfully configured a send connector on our Exchange server. We have successfully configured a send connector on our Exchange server. Clear?
Sir, that send message size 35 MB is for attachments or what?
Yeah, attachment. Total message size will be 35 MB, including your headers and information, everything.
And in FQDN, the one which you have given IP address is the recipient IP address or
Recipient Exchange server IP address. Recipient's
Exchange server?
Exchange server's public IP address.
Okay, okay, sir, got it.
Right. Now let's see how to configure receive connectors. So now you can configure receive connectors on specific Exchange servers. If you have multiple Exchange servers, at present we have only one Exchange server. So we'll be configuring on this Exchange server only. We'll click on the plus icon. Now here you can see we have role, hub transport role, and front end transport role. So what is the difference between this? So if we talk about difference between hub transport and role transport, sorry, front end and hub transport.
Sir, sorry to break you.
Yes.
There is two options, right? One is with MX record and other one is with which one you have selected, sir? There, I forgot.
MX record, MX
MX
record.
record. Okay.
So why MX record? Because MX records are already configured in the recipient's domain name DNS, domain DNS in the public, right? So whenever you use any domain on the Exchange server, your domain is registered in the public registrar with the public registrar, correct?
Okay, okay,
And
sir.
and you configure. So let's say if I'm having my domain cloudsparkle.in, my domain is registered with the public registrar, GoDaddy or BigRock, any registrar. And under my domain DNS, my MX records are configured. My MX records are configured. That's why I selected MX records. So it will take the MX records through internet itself. I don't need to route through smart host, because if you route through smart host, you are publishing your IP addresses of smart host to the another organization. So another organization is giving that public IP addresses to us of that smart host. So that is a security concern. So you should always navigate through MX records.
Okay,
Clear?
okay, sir. Clear, clear.
Now talking about front end of right. So if you want to receive connector to perform email routing within the organization, we select the hub transport option. And if you want it to act as an intermediary for SMTP and other protocols such as POP or IMAP, we select the front end transport service. Right. So if you want that your email routing should be taken care completely, then you will configure hub transport option. But if you want to configure as an SMTP intermediary, right, or POP3 intermediary, you will configure as a front end transport. Clear? What is the difference between both?
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's go and configure receive connector. So I'll give the connector name, right? So I'll say I want to configure this connector with my any of the partner organization. So here, if we see the type, right? So it is a custom to allow application relay. Then we have internal, right? We have internal. Then we have internet. We have partner and we have client. So we'll say partner organization. We'll say that we want to communicate. It is a partner receive connector and it is based on TLS. TLS partner receive connector, and we'll go with the we'll go with the front end transport. We'll go with the front end transport because it is a partner organization. If it is internet, we'll select hub transport. We'll move next. Now it is asking network adapter settings, specify the IP addresses and port of the network adapter to bind to the receive connectors. Right. So I am saying SMTP service request can go from any IP address with port number 25. Can go from any IP address with port number 25. We'll move next. Now it is asking remote network settings. So again, now it is asking the exchange IP address of your partner server, exchange IP address of your partner, right? Receive emails from servers that have these remote IP addresses, right? So I'll remove this and we can add a specific IP address also. Let's add a specific IP address 10.51.51.55. I'm just taking a dummy IP address. So I want to receive emails from these servers only. I want to receive emails from these servers only. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll click next and click finish. So my configuration is done for the receive connector. And if we go to the properties of the receive connector, so you can see we are having the name, right? Maximum message size, maximum local hop count, and maximum hop count, security. So security is by default configured as TLS, and permission groups, partners, and we will allow here anonymous users also. We'll allow anonymous users. If you want to change scoping in future, you can come and changing scoping also. You can modify the IP address and the network adapter settings also. You click save. So this is how you can configure your receive connectors. Clear with receive connectors, send connectors, litigation hold, in place hold.
Yes, sir. For partner network in the sense like for partner recipient in the sense like let's say I am in DXE. If we are adding for HCL, sir, that's the option we have selected.
Yeah,
Partner.
correct.
And then we have selected front end. If it is partner, we have selected
Yeah.
front end.
See, generally when you select front end, because see, you are not routing to internet, so you need the partner has already their email services, right?
Hmm.
SMTP POP3, just you are becoming an intermediary. You want to become as an intermediary because you have your already receive connector set up from the internet. Getting the
Hmm.
point?
Hmm.
But you want to route mails to your partner. Let's say ICICI Bank is there, they want to route their emails to RBI. So
Hmm.
they will have their own default receive connectors from internet. Now they want to route between their organization only. So they will configure through front end transport only. Here you can see this is the default connector for hub transport. If we go and understand this connector security, right? Everything is configured. Exchange servers, exchange users, legacy exchange servers, and scoping is anywhere,
Hmm.
anything. So this is my default connector, receive connector.
Hmm.
So this is for receiving the emails.
Okay. So when will we select that option, sir? That internet option.
Which internet option?
There is we have two options, I guess, right? Uh,
Okay, we will come back. Right. So if you want to receive emails from internet, right? You're
oh,
saying
sorry.
receive.
The hub transport. This is hub transport, not internet.
So that's what I told. Na. If you want
Yeah.
that, you want to receive emails from
Hmm.
uh, from everything. You don't want to SMT. You don't want to receive emails from any another exchange server, right? You don't want to route the mails. You want to receive from internet. Then you can configure hub transport. So if we go back, you can see if we want to if we want this receive connector to perform email routing, then
Hmm.
you will configure hub transport. But if you want to act as an intermediary, because see, when you are configuring partner organization, you're not performing email routing. Understand? You're not performing
Hmm.
email routing. Email routing happens when you don't know the partner organization and you want to route it to through DNS and MX records to that domain. Then
Okay.
through that DNS, MX records, recipients DNS and MX records, it will go to their email server and then the user will receive the email. That is email routing. But when you are configuring with partner, you are not email routing. You are just sharing the services of SMTP
Hmm.
and POP3.
Understood, sir. I got it.
Yes, Krishna? like something going in the sky, like that, a rocket going in the sky.
No, sir. Sir, can you give a glimpse on email mail flow? How it goes, something like that.
How I come again?
Can you give a glimpse on email mail flow, like overview on it and the troubleshooting? Troubleshooting means the mail flow issues.
Hmm. Okay, so we want to understand how mail flow works, right?
Yes, yes.
So now if you want to understand how mail flow works, right? Now it is better that you should know how exchange works, right? How exchange works, right? So what happens with the mail flow, right? What happens with the mail flow? So generally your mail flow occurs through a transport pipeline, right? So now the services, there are multiple services involved, right? You have your connectors, your queues, etc. Right. So if you want to detail understand that, for example, let me open an article. On another. See, right? So mail flow occurs through a transport pipeline. So which is a collection of multiple things. So it has services, connections, components, and queues all work together to route your messages and categorize the transport service on Exchange mailbox within your organization. Now, this inside the organization is not your for example, HCL organization, for example, Microsoft organization, Google organization. It's your Exchange organization. So if you remember when we are configuring Exchange, we gave the organization name. Right. So if we go to organization, right, we gave an organization name. So let me open Exchange mailbox and I'll forgot the command. I need to search. Right, so get organization config, select identity. Now this organize. Yes, so we'll run this command. Let me copy this command or get exchange. Get organization config. Right, so you can see this is all information and we had given legacy exchange distinguished name as SP Corporation. So we gave this as an organization name. So this was my organization name. Let me check. Yeah. So name of the organization is SP Corporation. So when we are talking about this organization, right? So the article which was showing, it is about talking about that organization. Now you can see here you have transport pipelines where we have front end transport service on mailbox servers, we have transport service, we have mailbox transport service, right? Then we have transport service on edge transport servers. Now this is the diagram how your exchange works, right? This is the mail flow. Now you can review inbound mail flow and inbound mail flow with edge transport servers. And this is no edge transport service directly on the internet, directly from the firewall you are routing. I can see first it is coming to your front-end transport service, then it is passing to your transport service, then it is passing to your mailbox transport delivery service, and finally to your mailbox database. Finally to your mailbox database. When you have edge transport service, so the first inbound mail will get delivered to your edge transport server. And the S transport server will pass on to your relevant mailbox server, where you have again the same front end transport service, then transport service, mailbox delivery service, and the mailbox database. So here you will have two firewalls. So this is basically your DMZ zone or parameter network. You can see this is parameter network, or we convey it as dematerialized zone or DMZ zone. And you will have two firewalls. This is your internal firewall, and this is your external firewall. Now we talk about external mail flow, outbound mail flow, right? So you can see again from the mailbox database, it is going to the mailbox transport submission service, then to the transport service, then to the front end service. Now here you can see from transport service, send connector created with default settings. So it will go from the transport service itself. But if you have send connector configured to proxy mail through front end transport service, if you have configured proxy, then your front end transport service will come into the picture in the outbound mail flow. Understand? Understood? And this is with edge transport servers, and this is without edge transport servers. Clear? Krishna? Yes, Rajesh, any doubts?
No, sir, it's clear for me.
Yes, Krishna.
Yes, sir.
I'll share this link also in the chat. You can still go through it, right? You will get more detailed understanding.
We gone through this article, sir, before me and Rajesh. But the
Hmm.
terms used in this article, like front end transport server, so bit difficult. So the at the time.
See, these are internal. See here, we have only one role, mailbox server role, right? In previous versions of Exchange, the transport service role was different and mailbox server role was different, right? But today also the mail flow goes like this only. Why they asked today? Because all roles have been merged to a single role. Getting the point? Hence, to understand whether you know how the exchange works in the back end, that's the reason they asked this question. Initially,
Mm-hmm.
what was so if I we navigate to Exchange 2003, let's go to Google Exchange Server 2003 roles list. It's 2013. See here you had uh, front end transport service, right? Hub transport service, mailbox transport service, right? So this is for Exchange 2013 itself, but still it is inbuilt in under mailbox transport role. And so see, you had a front end server, back end server, POP3 server, HTTP server, IMAP4 server, NNTP server, SMTP server, front end RPC over HTTP proxy server. So these were the roles available in your Exchange 2003. Now, front-end server role responsible for mail flow, back-end server role responsible to store mailbox and public folders. This was the roles in your Exchange 2003. Now, if we talk about Exchange 2007, right? So in Exchange Server 2010 and 2010, sorry, 7 and 10, you were having hub transport, client access, edge transport, mailbox, and unified messaging. Right. So that's why all these services, how they run in the background, this is the same. The architecture is same, just the roles were separated. This was the link. No. Right. So this is the article. Now this article is applicable to Exchange Server 2019. If you want to search for any another version, let's say 2016, right? So you can see in 2016 also the same mail flow is there. But if you go in a older version, mail flow will be different. Mail flow will be different. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So depending upon your version, so at present we are talking about 16 and 19. Both have same mail flow rules. Both have same mail flow rules. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And I'll be covering some 15 minutes portion of troubleshooting once we complete the exchange. I'll give you a glimpses on that. Don't worry.
Okay. Sir, on Saturday or Sunday, is it possible for you to take 1 hour section?